Hello YouTubers, it's Championdjk coming at you again with a 10-car Tuesday episode, and today we're doing something a little out of the ordinary because I'm featuring M2 machines. Now normally I don't really do a lot of M2, I don't collect a lot of M2. These have been sitting though in my collection for quite some time, the majority of them, with the exception of one car that we'll look at last. But this is from the Auto Japan series. This first one that you're looking at, I believe, was from the first Auto Japan series that was a Walmart exclusive. Limited to 8,800 pieces, and we're going to start by we're going to look at these by the casting. So we're going to start with this Nissan Bluebird 1600 SS. So this is basically the like the 510. We're going to go ahead and open all these up, of course, unscrew them from the base, all that jazz. Take a look at the quality control too. I'm actually just going to wreck this packaging. I'm not going to save any of it. So I'm just going to toss it. Go ahead and get clear case open. There's the model right there. And we need to unscrew it from the base right away. And hopefully this goes swimmingly. So there you go. Here's car number one. So let's take a peek at that. Adjust my camera here, which is always a challenge. Give it some focus. Alright, so these models are pretty cool. I have a couple of them loose already, but I just have these 10 here that we're going to look at. They're definitely pretty neat. I think this is the first 510 or whatever that I've opened up. It's a four-door. We got an opening hood, some detail in there. We got those side mirrors, which I kind of wish they would have done without the side mirrors. This one does look pretty good. I don't see any like major quality issues with it. Rolls pretty good. Front end looks pretty good. So while we're just kind of looking at that one, I'm going to open up another 510. This next one is from, I think, the second release of this. It was 9,980 or 9,888 pieces, and it was released for all stores, not just Walmart. Open this up. Off camera here. Gonna make a complete mess of this stuff. That's this one right here. So this M2 does do some cool things with their castings, where they have different bases depending on what stance the car is. So this has the lowered stance. There it is. The wheel doesn't look fantastic. It does have quite a bit of a lean to it, but at least you can unscrew M2s and fix them. Some sloppy details right there in that chroming. It should be the same motor detail that we saw in the other one. Same side view mirrors. It looks okay. So checking out the difference in the base. Oops, I just knocked the side mirror off. See, and that's what happens with these little parts. There's a side mirror that was right here, and I just knocked it off. It looks like they're just literally stuck on with glue. I don't think that they are like they're not put into like a drilled hole in the casting and then secured that way. So you got to be really careful with those. This matte black finish on the top's got some texture to it, which is kind of interesting. Feels really rough. I don't think I'm going to glue that mirror back on. I might as well just take the other one off too. But here, this one is a non-racing livery, and then I've got another one to look at here for the same casting. So these were pretty much they were hyped when they were coming out with these models, and I think they've kind of lost their luster now. They've put out so many of them that I don't think they ever really caught on that much. I mean, obviously they didn't become as popular as the Hot Wheels JDM craze stuff, but some people did like these. This one, the base is kind of messed up too. Anyways, I was trying to show you before was actually the difference in the stance is a lot because of this insert right here. And the base is actually tooled different too, but see that? That's an inserted plastic piece on the bottom. that raises that wheel up, and then the other part is this front part that's raised up. So I don't know why they did it like that, but so this one's got the different insert back there, and then the standard base up here. It's a pretty cool one. I like the color scheme of this one. So like I was saying, they put out a ton of these, like a lot, and I think they kind of oversaturated the market. Well, not only, you know, the market's been getting oversaturated with JDM stuff since everybody was coming out with it. You know, and Greenlight pretty much simultaneously started coming out with their Tokyo Torque series, or shortly after this series, I guess. And it really kind of, so it really kind of just oversaturated the market. And I don't think people ended up caring all that much about these, getting too crazy about them. Of course, the chases, there's some raw chases and stuff like that I'm sure still fetch a lot of cash. But all right, so the next one we're going to look at is the Nissan Fairlady Z. This one that we're looking at here is 9,888 pieces. Pull that out. They did do a pretty good job on this Nissan casting. This is the one tooling that I think M2 did a better job than Greenlight on. The Greenlight 240Z I was really excited that they were putting one out. I thought it was going to be awesome, and then it became a huge disappointment. I've talked about it before on this channel. This one, I think they did a pretty decent job with it, scale-wise. I think it looks pretty good. So this one's bumper delete. It's a race car. I don't know if that primer look back there is supposed to look that sloppy. That like paint on the back, that's a little strange. It's got lensed inserts for headlights. The stance is a little off. It's like a little bit higher in the back than it is in the front, making it look a little weird. But so there's that first one, and then I think the other two are from the original Walmart exclusive release. I'm just going to kind of open those up here. Just try to get them open. You guys know I kind of rag on them too quite a bit. It's the one brand of diecast I really just don't collect. Like, I don't collect them at all. And I'm glad I don't, just because at least there's one thing I don't have to get. However, I will admit some of their trucks are pretty cool. And these are kind of cool. This one, again, has a little bit of a stance issue. It actually doesn't look that bad. And then the wheel needs to be fixed, but that's definitely fixable. The side mirrors, again, those things are just wanting to come right off. The motor detail on this casting is actually, I don't think, very good. Let's see if I can get one open a little easier than the other. That looks like an afterthought. Look at the paint on that. Just sloppily done. So, but M2 is also coming out with Chevy trucks, so that's going to be the next one that every brand is doing, is square body Chevys. You're going to have one from Auto World this time around. You're going to have one from M2, and I think Greenlight's also putting out a square body. So that is the next truck that everybody's going to do at once, and then maybe it'll lose a little bit of popularity. I don't know. All right, so I got one more of these Nissans. So as you can see, this one's got a rear bumper, front bumper, unlike this version of it. It's more the race version, so it's bumper delete. So that's just another kind of cool thing. And this other one that I'm pulling out too is also a bumper delete. And that's this green one right here. It's basically a green version of this one. Goodyear tires. This one looks pretty good. The overall shape of this car, I think they got right. Shape and size, I think it's probably pretty close to 1/64 scale. but still has a little bit of quality issue. This one looks pretty good, though. Not quite as sloppy back there with that gray paint. All right, so that's those three models. And the last casting we're going to look at is the 71 Skyline GTR. I'm going to start with this one here. This is the Walmart exclusive. There's dust on these packaging. You can tell I've had them for quite a while. Unscrew the base. This one, Greenlight also put out a car. This car, basically. And definitely it's way cooler than the M2 is, especially in that motor detail department. At some point, I'll probably do some brand comparing with this, the Greenlight stuff, and some other stuff. Like I got some Konamis and some Kyoshos, and we can kind of take a look at all the brands together eventually, and eventually I will do that. But for this one, we're just going to look at these M2s. They did a pretty good job with this casting, though. It does look pretty good. The taillights leave a lot to be desired. The way that they basically inserted a chrome and then painted a little bit of red over the chrome. The front end looks pretty good. The motor detail, you might as well not even have it there. But overall, that car looks pretty decent. And then that's what we're going to look at for the rest of this. Is going to be these 71 GTRs. The next three I have are in more of a racing livery. Just unscrewing one from the base here. So the racing livery looks good. It's got a little spoiler added to the back that they didn't have on the civilian one. Again, motor detail's the same, which there isn't much of it. Hood close is nice. That's good. That's a plus. Taillights again leave a bit to be desired. We're going to go ahead and I'm just going to start opening up the next one. But overall, I think they got the shape of these cars down. I mean, they definitely did. I'm just not a huge fan of M2. Don't like the way they're constructed. They're just way too fragile. They have a lot of quality issues that I see in the stores. I always look at what's there when I go to like a Walmart and stuff. I just kind of check out what's there. Right now, sitting at my Walmart is like that whole VW series that has like the weird artwork on the side. They're all like buses. And that thing's been sitting there forever. I don't think anybody's going to ever pick them up. Those are definitely peg warmers. Here's this guy here, or I should say shelf warmers, since they're not hanging on pegs. Plus, I think M2 did raise their price on their castings too, which is too bad. So this one looks cool. It's basically just a color change from this one. This yellow and white. It's pretty decent looking. So yeah, I did pre-order though the trucks that they're coming out with that have they have like the Firebird logo on the hood. I did pre-order a set of those, so I am looking forward to that. This last one is from actually a Moon Eyes series, not from an Auto Japan series. And I just picked it up in the store because I just saw it there, and I needed a 10th car to do a 10-car Tuesday on these. And so far we've gone through 9 cars. This is going to be the 10th one, so I picked this up just so I could do this video. And it's probably looking at this one. This one's got a rubber band around the hood, which I got to be careful with. I'm taking it off right now to not knock off the side mirrors. This is probably the best looking one of these three, is this one right here in Moon Eyes. So this one actually looks really good, and looks pretty solid from a quality standpoint. Again, those back taillights are just not very cool, but the rest of the vehicle is pretty cool. That's a pretty awesome looking little car, actually, so I had to pick this one up. Looks pretty good. So we only had one mirror casualty, taking these out. This one, the base is on totally wonky. That's what I was trying to push on it before. I have to unscrew it to fix it. So which casting do you like the best from the Japanese cars that M2 makes? And they just make 3 different castings, basically. All of the Nissan variety. I think of these Zs, my favorite one is probably this green one out of the 3. I think it looks pretty decent in that dark green. Out of the Bluebirds, this one's probably my favorite right here. It's the only one I've got that's got a normal ride height. It's not lowered at all. And I think it looks pretty good. And might as well just knock that mirror right off. There, it left a little bit of a mark, but oh well. Looks better like that without those silly looking mirrors, even though the mirrors, yes, are real. That's how they really had them. They were right there in the hood, but yeah, I don't know, the way they look on these cars just kind of looks a little goofy. This is probably the worst one out of the bunch as far as from a quality standpoint goes. It's just got some sloppy details, and I don't know if this finish is really supposed to be like textured or rough up here. I mean, it's rough. Also, the wheel looks a little weird. Anyway, base is on a little wonky. This one looks pretty good though. So I don't know. I haven't really bought like newer. This is the newest M2 I have in my collection, so I haven't really bought a ton of M2, and of course not because I don't really collect them. But I haven't really been into them too much. There are some castings they do that are really cool. I'm not going to discount them as a brand that is an interesting one and that is a contributor to the hobby. But it's just typically not a brand I collect. But they're not bad. They're definitely not bad. So, all right. So that's going to be it for this video, guys. Let me know what you think of these casting. Which one was your favorite? Which car is your favorite? Which version of that car is your favorite? Please check out my playlist, my 10 Car Tuesday playlist. If you like these videos, and you can see more of them. And check out my other playlist too, my other videos. Please like, leave a comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. And thank you guys very much. Have a good day.